Okay, so today's episode, we've pulled the thermostat out. Last episode you saw that we also pulled the thermostat out. So this fits together. So this little tangs go in here. So we ripped that out because it wasn't working. I still haven't tested this to see if that was the actual problem. On today's episode, we're gonna put in a brand new thermostat from Nissan with gasket. So we don't know if the issue was that this never worked or if it was because the rad cap was bad. The other thing we're gonna do today to save ourselves a lot of headache, you don't need this specific kit, but keep in mind if you use a kit, it doesn't have to say Snap-on on it, can say whatever. If you use a kit that doesn't have the specific lock-in piece here and the adapter for Nissan and like 100 other vehicles, the chances of, like, if you use the cone style, not a big fan, but it's fine. If it works for you, it works for you. You go with your budget, whatever works. This stays on. You don't have to worry about it getting bumped, nothing happening, whatever. So that's kind of the positive side of using the style of kit we're using today. But the big thing with Nissans is they have to be vacuum bled. I know you can do it other ways. If you want to tell me how you did it for free, that's perfect. I've done it for free before too, and then the cap failed, but it was like hours and like literally beating your head against the wall. So we're not going to spend hours today. We've got the old thermostat out. We're going to clean off the old gasket, which is not old, but it tore anyways. And we're going to put a new gasket on, put a thermostat in, and we're going to draw out the rest of the coolant. The big thing with using this system is if you don't drain out all the coolant, as soon as you hook this system up to draw out the coolant and to get a vacuum into the system, it will pull all the rest of the coolant out. So that's what we're doing today. You will need a compressor, so I'm gonna grab, well, I don't have to grab the compressor because it's right over there. And then we'll hook it up, hook the hoses back up. Didn't show you that part because I'm sure you've done it 100 times yourself. And we're gonna get to work. It's probably one of the easiest thermostats I've ever changed. So we'll get back to it, throw it together, and hopefully find out if there's any leaks. Because I didn't pressure test it beforehand. Should have done that. Tech tip.
Once you're at the point where you think it is cleaned off, take a shot with your phone to see if the mounting surface is clean.
That's what I want. I just want a photo.
I'm going to hit this with a razor to take the remainder silicone off the mounting surface of the engine, where the thermostat bolts up to. Before installing the gasket, I put some silicone on the thermostat to help keep it in place, then install the thermostat with 2 bolts to help line it up easier. Now the thermostat is in, we can hook up the hoses and move on to the next step, which is filling the system with a vacuum filler. First, put the end with the screen into the jug or bucket where you're going to draw your new coolant from. Then stick the other end into an empty container to catch any residual coolant still left in the system. You can now hook up the vacuum fill system and start creating a vacuum in the cooling system to draw in new coolant. If the vacuum fill struggles to pull a vacuum or will not pull a vacuum, you may have to fill the system with water and pressure test, as there will be a leak in your system. In our case, the cooling system has no leaks, which is allowing our vacuum to climb so rapidly. We can now begin the fill process by opening the valve of the tube that is in our new coolant. You may still have to keep the other valve open slightly to help pull vacuum to continue filling the cooling system. Once the vacuum will not draw any more coolant in, you can dismantle everything and top up your coolant.
Okay, so we've got the rad topped up. It looks like it's full. So I'm gonna put the cap on. So we're gonna fire this thing up. We're gonna get it up to operating temperature and make sure everything's good. And what you want to do is you want to set your temp. Make sure you're neutral. Set your temp all the way up. 32. Turn the AC off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, turn this temp up here. And you want to run it for a while. So I'll run it for about 20 minutes. Yeah, it's warm outside. It's about 31 degrees outside. Nice and hot. But what you want to do is you want to check the temperature and see if it changes. Also, while you're doing this, you can go over, because if there's air pockets in it, you'll find out real quick. And you take that cap off while you're running it. If that starts bubbling, shut it off. You're gonna have to start bleeding it. It's a nightmare, I'm sorry. I'd recommend putting it on ramps and get this point as high as possible. You could even take something like a funnel, like what I did before when we were trying to get it running. We stuck this in, taped it in. I mean, you can leave it on level ground, but you can tape it in and you can fill this up and burp all the air out. I know you can do this by just bleeding and making sure that funnel is higher. So maybe you can save yourself 50 bucks. If you go on Amazon, you don't buy the vacuum fill system. But to be honest with you, for the money that you're saving to do it this way with a funnel or getting it on elevated surface so that it's the highest point, it's really not worth it. I would recommend going on Amazon, spending the 50 bucks. You don't have to have the snap-on one. You can get the cone style one that fits in there. It's just not as stable as the style I have. But you don't need the snap-on one. You can still get the cap style that twists on. It's a generic brand. Just make sure that when you're doing this, that you've got a setup that's gonna not cause you any breakdowns, because that's worth more than 50 bucks. A breakdown is worth way more than 50 bucks. You're late for work, you don't show up to work, can't get home, whatever. A tow is way more than that. So I hope this video helps. If you like this video, guys, hit that like button. If you do like the video, though, I do ask you to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button so you can see more Ugly G. And we've got some more videos coming. We actually ran out the other day to go get some fiberglass. So we're planning on taking this sub here. Let's unmute that so we get some bass. So we're gonna take this sub, we're gonna stick it in there. It's gonna be glorious. I can't wait. Until next time, have a lovely day, stay safe, and have fun working on your cars. And even if it doesn't go your way, find some way to laugh about it. Until next time, everyone, take care, have a wonderful day, be safe.